markets. I know we talked about doing this a good 4 or 5 days ago, getting it done over last weekend, and that just didn't work out. So I wanted to bring it to you today. Hope all of you are doing well. It's been a while since we've chatted, and that is on purpose. A couple reasons. Number one, the market's not doing anything but falling, so there's not much to talk about. We're not going to sit and review 30, 40 coins that are just going down as Bitcoin goes down. It might make you feel better to hear somebody review it, but believe me, guys, that's not what you need either. Many of you, I'm sure, have kids, and as your kids got older and older and older and more mature, you babied them less, and trading's no different. The market goes down, and 9 million people jump on YouTube to give people a pacifier so they can suck on to say, oh, it'll be okay, guys, don't worry. Well, part of the mental toughness of trading is learning how to sit through the down markets on your own without somebody, holding your hand and walking you through the process. So therefore, on purpose, I have just kind of updated you less. It gives you guys the ability to create a little bit more mental toughness. There's going to be some people that don't like that, but that's okay. I'm not bothered by it. Anyway, let's jump in here and look at Bitcoin for a minute. So we made a new low, and a little over a week ago when I saw Litecoin make a new low for the year, my instinct told me, okay, if Litecoin has made a new low for the year and Litecoin follows Bitcoin, Bitcoin's next. And here we are. I made that comment. I got 100 emails telling me there's no way it can go down. I've listened to other people tell me that, oh, you'll never see 6,500 again. I've heard people tell me all these things. And guys, it's not about who's right and who's wrong. It's about really establishing the mindset that the market does what the market wants to do. If you go back into my videos and you listen to them and you listen carefully, you'll hear me say, the market does what the market wants to do. Just when you think it can't go any more, it goes some more. Just when you think it can't go any higher, it goes higher. And the whole world that does technical analysis will be telling you, there's no way it can do this, because they have cognitive dissonance in their own ability. It's called human ego. I don't have that anymore. The market has humbled me to the point that I never do that. I never do a market update with you guys where I don't at least cover the bear side of the market. Because I believe 100% that the market will do what the market wants to do, and it does not care about me. It does not care about how sharp I think I am. It doesn't care about how great my technical analysis is or how much I think it is. And so again, a week ago when I saw Litecoin do that, I just had a gut feeling we are going lower. And Litecoin led the way. So anyway, where are we now? Let's first of all pull up our cheat sheet. And I'll tell you guys, I think this low that we're putting in now could very well be this last low before we start the new rise. And the only way that we'll know that is to watch it take place. Now, back in February here on the 6th, I think it was, we made a low. Depending on which chart you're looking at, it was between 6,000 and 5,950. And we broke that low, I believe today, maybe even 2 days ago. What is today's low? Let me get rid of that. Today's low is 5,800, according to Bitfinex. If you look at Bitstamp, it might be a little different. So on all these numbers I'm going to give you guys, I want you to, give or take $100, because I don't know which chart you're looking at. You might only follow Bitstamp. So anyway, as we've fallen now to a new low, we have totally killed off the count. You guys probably saw me show a count earlier in the year that looked like this. This was the assumption that this was going to be our low for the year. So from that assumption, we go and we draw. Let's see what I can get done here. Brush. We go and we draw a 1 up, an A, B, C back for 2, and then we would have started 3. Well, all of this in here, all of that was beginning to tell the story that this is what it was looking like. However, when we came down and we broke to a new low, we didn't hold this low. We've now not hold this low. This count is completely invalidated. And that's the thing about trading, you know, all these people that have never traded before and all these newbies and all the people that attack everyone that has been trading for years, some of which successfully, some of which not. They just come out and attack you and go, oh, so if this, then that, and if that, then that. Basically 50-50, great. And, you know, they troll all the people trying to help people. It's ridiculous. You know, grow up. That's what I would say to those people is grow up. And not only that, but most of them, they're losing money. They're not making money, and they're never going to make money. Just going to go ahead and tell you, their mindset's not right to make money. So anyway, what you have to do in trading is you have to let the chart play out. So when we went up here, we did a 1. We came back here, we did a 2. Okay? But in this 2, anticipating that we were starting a new count for the year, in this 2 right here, we did hold higher. We made finally a higher low instead of a lower low. And then we had this long downtrend line, which we broke, and it looked really promising then. So now you can begin to do the next count from here, and this was going to be your 1 up of 3 and your 2 back of 3, and then on up and away. However, the market went lower. As I told you before, many, many times, the market does what the market wants to do. And in this case, I'm sure there were a lot of technical analysis, including me, that was looking for the market to go higher from there. So the point is that now that the market has showed its hand and invalidated that, we're looking for where the actual low is. And when we find that low, that will be the point at which we can then start the new count. And we'll start an entire new cycle. Now, if we look back over here at the market cycle, everything's almost identical. So here, this long drop right here is this long drop right here, okay? And then we have, from there, we have the rise to here, which is the rise to there. Then the fall back and the rise back up. The fall back and the rise back up. I mean, it looks almost identical. Then we come down here, you see these bottoms where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles, 6 candles all holding the same area. You've got here about 10 candles all holding the same area. And then from there, we rose back up and did almost a double top right here. Well, look at here. We rose back up, we did a double top right there, okay? Then this has been a long slide down to here. And if you look, it comes back down and it holds this area and it goes up just like it does over here, and then it gives this last spike down. So that's where I think we are. Where do I see us ending? Well, let me give you those numbers. I really believe that the $4,800 to $5,000 mark could be our bottom for this year. I'm gonna cover 2 scenarios with you. So we broke our long downtrend here. And now all we're doing is coming back and testing it. If you go back and look at my trend line analysis video, you'll see that I told you guys 90 to 95% of the time when a trend line is broken, it comes back to test the trend line. Well, have you seen a test here yet? Look at where we broke it. We broke it here with big volume and a big candle. Have we been back to test it? Not yet. Now, we don't always have to. Again, it's a 90 to 95% chance. And this is Bitcoin we're talking about. So even myself, when we didn't come back and test it right away, I thought, okay, great. It's not going to test it. Super. Guys, I am not God, and I do not have a crystal ball. And I don't even pretend like I do. I don't come on the air and say, oh, it's going to do this now, and don't you worry, my prediction will come to pass. I do not do that, ever, and I never will. Even last year, when I was giving people targets, and I was giving people my time analysis, I was saying, I really believe this is where we'll be. I didn't say this has to be where we'll be, and all my predictions come to pass. I didn't say I'm the only guy in the whole world talking about this. I didn't do any of that, and you never will hear me do that. And when you hear people doing that, in my opinion, you should run. Because those people are not trading. Those people have their ego out in front of their trade, and they're looking for destruction. Once you've had the market humble you enough, then, and only then, will you stop doing stuff like that. And I've heard it from, I can't tell you how many sources. Well, the bottom's in now and we're going up. No, you better be looking at both sides of this market every single time. When it goes to a new high and everybody's all in euphoria again, you better still be looking at the other side of the market. This is not just a one-way street here. This is a two-way street. So let's look at 4,800. Let's line it up with our red line. This is a little bit of time analysis for you. Unless the market, let's go all the way to 48. Or let's do an average and do 49. That puts us on July the 6th. So let's just say this, by July the 6th, I would think we'll see $4,800, 48 to 5,000. Now, what would happen next? That's by the way, right there where my little cursor hand is on the line. That would be a retest of the trend line, and by time analysis, we'd be there. Now, the market can go ahead and just drop down there today. It does not have to wait until July the 6th. Believe me when I tell you. But what I think could happen next is two scenarios, and that's what I wanted to cover with you. So let's just take the first scenario. This says that the bottom's in at 4,800. So in which case we would bounce and start to climb like so. And we would start to climb. The minute we pass this high right here, we have validated that 4,800 is our bottom. The minute we pass that high, that's about $10,000. And that would, in fact, give us a true reversal in the bear trend. Now, what's the other scenario? Let's talk about that one. Let's just say that we hit 4,800 here. Okay. By the way, 4,800 becomes your first level of support because it was an old swing high right back here, right there. It was your old swing high, which we swung high there. We came all the way back down here to 32 something, and then bounced to this created capitulation. You see the very high volume and the big drop down, and then boom, it gave it a springboard. And that's what markets do over and over again. There's your springboard. There's your springboard. So I was actually kind of hoping when we dropped here and came down, I was actually really hoping we would drop straight down there. Like we would break 6,000 and go straight to 35, this big, huge couple days worth of candles. It might still happen. I mean, today's still young. We could still have a huge red candle down to here, and then from there, fall some more, bounce, and fall some more. And really create that capitulation that we need for the market to give a really big bounce. Now, So the reason 4,800 becomes a catalyst point for us to look at is because it was an old swing. Right here, it was an old swing high. Now there's another level of support that's even stronger than 4,800. So again, let's cover scenario 2. Scenario 2 would be we come down to 4,800. Let's just call it 49 here on June. Well, it's basically Independence Day. Isn't that fancy? And we bounce, and we bounce up, maybe something like this, and then we work our way back down, and we go all the way back down to about 3,500. And as you can see back here, 3,500 was an area that we only dipped below for one candle and then right back above, and then we held it for many days there at 3,500. And that would end in August. That would end our downtrend. So one of two scenarios, in my mind, plays out. I guess there is one third scenario, which is I'll show you on the weekly chart. We won't go there just yet. And it was one that I worried about all year last year. But man, let's pray that doesn't happen. If it does, we're in for a long ride, ladies and gentlemen. Now again, what I want to encourage you guys to do while I switch these charts around is I want to encourage you, man, take some time off the market. Don't sit and stare at it every day. Your portfolios are down. But, you know, when your money is sitting in the bank, it's even. When your money's sitting in the bank, it's even. It's not going up, it's not going down. You don't even think about it. That is the mentality you have to have in trading during a down market. You have to say, okay, I got in the market with risk capital. Man, I wish many of you had gotten into the market with risk capital. Many of you went out and got loans and got in the market. Many of you went out and took money you needed by June and got in the market with it. Believe me, I know, because a lot of you are very transparent with me on your emails. So I know people got in this market. See, that's why when you bought my classes, the first several classes, I spent the entire time on psychology. Because psychology is different for a person that gets in the market and they get in with money that they've been saving for their kids' college. That guy is going to be so emotional about trading, it's unbelievable. But people don't listen. People see the market going up and, oh my God, it's going up and I'm going to miss it and I could have made money and I'm getting it right now. I'm going to be a hero. And they lose their money. Or they then get stuck in a down market like we've been in now. And so what ends up happening is, lo and behold, I had a guy just yesterday said, man, I'm thinking about selling my Bitcoin. And I'm like, really? You're thinking about selling your Bitcoin? Guys, I've been teaching this since day one. We buy the fear, we sell the greed. 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 We don't sell the fear and buy the greed. I have a friend of mine who owns an over-the-counter exchange, and he told me while this market is down, nobody walks through his doors. And then when the market turns and goes up, he comes and says, man, everybody's here wanting to buy. Why is it that a human being that pays for an education course can't make that mental click and go, gee, in my past, when something's going up, I have no problem buying it. I'll chase the price and, man, feel good about it. And then when it goes back down because I bought at the wrong time, I feel like crap. Well, guys, I had people in our trade group buying here, giving them targets to sell, to take profits, and folks in a down market. I'm not trying to brag. I'm not trying to say I'm the man. None of that. None of that, guys, because there is no perfect trader. Period. If you're following someone who says they're a perfect trader and they get all of it right, blah, 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 run for the hills. You ever hear me say that? Run for the hills. But guys, I've made a crap ton of money. A crap ton of money on Bitcoin, on Ethereum, and on Litecoin. I've told people in the trade group, look, don't worry about the altcoins right now. I've even told people for months, until it gets back above 11.7, we're not trading altcoins. Why? Because Bitcoin is still going down until it crosses that line. That line has now been moved down, by the way. We're no longer looking at 11.7. We're looking at about 10.5. When we cross 10.5, game on for everything. For everything. And people want me to come in and they want to, stick a bottle in their mouth and hear me talk about XLM and hear me talk about Siacoin. I'll talk about all of them in one statement. You guys ready? They're down. And they're going to be down until the king leads. For right now, we're involved in a market where the king has to lead. And if it doesn't lead, accept it. You got in this market on your own free will. And I begged everybody, please get in the market with money you can afford to lose. Why? If you can afford to lose it, then guess what else you can afford to do? You can afford to sit through a down market. Guys, this down market doesn't bother me at all. I've been very transparent with everyone. I take out money to live on for a whole year at a time. And as a backup, being a chess player my whole life, I take a little more than that, just in case the market takes longer. And then also, I gauge where the market's at mid-year and go, gee, do I need to pull the rein in a little bit here to make sure my money lasts? It's no different for me than it is anyone else. It might be at a higher level, that's all. But guys, please, 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 please do not get in this market. Do not stay in this market. If you need a bottle popped in your mouth every time the price goes down. Because I'm here to tell you something. When this down market finishes and it goes up, we are going to see some monster swings. If you think people were upset when it's dropped from 20,000 down to, let's say, 5, or down to maybe even 35, and even worse, down to 1,200, if you think that people have been upset, how upset are they going to be when the market goes up to 65,000 and drops from 65,000 down to 14,000? And the market gives up 50,000 points. And people from last year that saw 100,000 come into their account, now they're down to 20,000 and they're crying the blues. Those same people are going to see millions of dollars come into their account, and they're going to see it go back to 100,000. And I'm telling you, the emotional side of this game is where it's at. I led with that when I started my education, and I will always stay with that. And the reason why is because I care about people. We could only ever talk about the price if you want to, but I care about people. And you know what people do over a financial marketplace? They commit suicide. They kill themselves. They get depressed and they kill themselves. And I care about people. So I'm trying to tell you guys, don't be in this market with money you can't afford to lose. And I don't care if you say, well, man, that only leaves me like $300. I don't care. This market's big enough that $300 over the course of a couple of years can turn into 6 and 7 figures. I've watched my own son, who's 18 now, 19 years old, last year, every single time that he got a paycheck, he was calling me, Dad, I'm going to put $50 in. Where do I do it? Dad, I'm going to put in $100. Where do I do it? And little by little by little by little, he limped into the market. And when the market went up to the high at the end of last year, his portfolio was phenomenal. And it's going to be really good as we get into our next bull run. And everybody's like, when the bull run? When the bull run? I can't tell you. I don't have a crystal ball. I follow the chart, and I do what the chart tells me. The other thing that I do is that as we've been down and I've gotten a little more convinced that we might not go lower, I've been building a bigger position in my altcoins, averaging my price down. When you buy an altcoin at 20, let's say over here, you're over here buying an altcoin at 20 cents, and you get down to here and it's down to 2 cents, I always leave a little reserve here and there for me to get back in the market with more money. Sometimes, for example, the last time we were down in this area, I had buy orders to get back into Bitcoin with US dollars that are sitting on my exchange account. US dollars. All my buy orders didn't get hit. When that happens, I don't just run and jump in the market and go, oh, I'm in now. I'm just getting in at any price because I got to have all my money in. No, I'm okay. If I have U.S. dollars to the tune of 100 or a couple 100,000 sitting around the exchange, I'm okay with that. Because guess what? I don't know what the market's going to do. And after it passes my guarantee point, as far as a charting perspective, I can put it in then. It's okay. I haven't missed the game. I haven't lost anything. Oh, at the end of the year, I may go, man, gee, I could have made 50,000 more dollars if I'd only done this. Get that mindset out of your brain. I don't think like that. I always have money sitting around to get in. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, gee, I'm probably going to be buying Litecoin for 60 to 70 bucks. Never thought that would happen. I'm a 18-year veteran trader, and I can sit here and tell you transparently, I never thought I'd see 60 or $70 again on Litecoin. I really didn't, but I'm okay with it. I know the end game. I know where we're going. I know where this technology is going. I know that this year there's already been so much good news about cryptocurrency that it would blow a person's mind, and yet we haven't moved up, we've moved down. So anyway, guys, I'm giving you a little bit of a lecture, but at the same time, I get the emails from you guys. And when I get the same basic theme over and over, it tells me what you need. So I'm sitting here talking to you. Maybe some of you are rolling your eyes. I don't care. Maybe some of you are going, man, I really needed this. Now I care. Maybe some of you are going, man, he makes a really good point. Now I care. But for the people rolling your eyes and going, blah, 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 get out of trading. You're about to lose all your money. You're about to lose every dime you have to your name and be bankrupt because your mentality sucks. No other way to put it. All right, get back to the chart a minute. Let's go to the weekly. So you guys have the two scenarios. Here's our first level of support, 4,800 to 5,000. Our second level of support is around 3,500. What I would hope we would do on either one of these is I would hope we would have just a gusto fall and create a capitulation. Doesn't have to, but man, I would love to see that. And if we don't see that, then we might see here and a bounce up to like here and a fall, a big fall down to like 3,500. And then that creates the capitulation over there. Okay? Again, it's going to do what it's going to do, and it really doesn't care what I think. The market does not care. It doesn't care what you think either. Now, one thing I want you to keep in mind is that there does come a point, and I think that point right now is about $3,500, and that is where the actual network of the ecosystem, let's just call it the miners, okay, where it becomes unprofitable and it gets to a point where, you know, it could collapse on itself. So I really believe, all in all, that the miners will keep the network alive at any cost. And also the powers that be that really want to see this market go, that have been putting tons and tons and tons of money into the market. I believe those folks will, they'll keep it alive. I don't think they're looking to kill off the market. So I believe that point is $3,500, by the way. So in other words, where we get on the line of it becoming profitable or not profitable to mine a Bitcoin is around $3,500. So that could very easily be our low. However, there is a point that I want you guys to see. I talked about it all last year. I've talked about it on almost every video. And that is right there, $1,200. So if we put the line right there, now some of you listening to this video are going to go away from this video and go, Jason said we might go to 1,200. That is not what I'm saying. Do not repeat what I said incorrectly. Do not do that. By the way, there's our, let's see, get that on there. Here's our 3,500 point. and here's our 5,000 to 4,800 point right there. So if you notice, we have the tops of two weekly candles here, which are actually really about 4,600. Okay, so maybe we should change that 4,600 to 4,900. Okay, so the tops of two weekly candles right there. Now, if you look at Bitstamp, those numbers might be 4,700. But an even stronger support level would be these three right here, where you have three weekly candles that opened or closed on that line. Now, we've almost gotten to 5,700, 5,800, where we also have one candle here, two candles here, a third candle, and a fourth candle, basically right there, right in that zone, which is about 5,600 to 50, let's just call it 55. I really believe the areas to look at, being that we're still coming down, is an old swing high, just like you had here. Watch. You came up to this swing high, you pulled back, you went up to here to a new high. Where'd you come back to? Boom, you came right back to the swing high. Okay? Bitcoin does this over and over and over again. Came up to a swing high, pulled back in an ABC fashion, went up to a new high, came back. Where'd you come back to? Boom, swing high. Okay? So now we've gone up and swung to a new high, come back to where? An old swing high. So 4,800, 4,700, 4,900, those areas right there, they may very well be the bottom for this year. When we get there, don't let people tell you that that is the bottom. Look at all the scenarios I've just covered with you. It still could continue to go up a little and come on back to the next level, which would be $3,500. If it came back to 3,500 right here, take all these lows right here. Let's pull this up just a little bit so you can see it. All right, so we'll start at the bottom. Here's a low. Here's a higher 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 low. And even if we came back to 3,500 and stopped there and went up, Bitcoin still made a higher low, and its actual uptrend is still in play, believe it or not. I mean, I know we're in a down cycle, a down movement, and I get that, but I'm looking long-term big chart, and if you go to the monthly, to the granddaddy chart, it's even better. Now, here's the other thing I want you guys to notice, and the reason I'm showing you the weekly chart. We're going to draw a trend line here. I want you guys to tell me what you see. You just put it across here. What do you see right there? That's exactly right. The price is going down on less and less and less volume. Going down on less and less and less volume. Go back to my videos. I went through this in long detail, that when you go down and your volume is decreasing and decreasing and decreasing, this is extremely bullish. Extremely bullish. Let's plot some lines in here. There's an overall uptrend line. And where does it intersect? It actually intersects on September 24th. We could tighten it up some. Just hug the bottom of the candles, all the bottom of the candles. And now it intersects on August the 13th. So what if we do this? What if we come on down here by the first week of July, we bounce up, and then we come down really hard to create that capitulation like that. And we land on this long trend line here. This is a very long trend line. This goes back to 2015. 2015. And see, a lot of people think we are mimicking this over here. So a lot of people think we're mimicking that right there. And when you see traders do that, that again is cognitive dissonance. Because what they're doing is they're going, oh, look, Bitcoin did this before, it's going to do it now. And I mean, if you're a real trader and you've been around for a while and you've lost $1 million of trading like I have, or more like I have, and you've made millions like I have, you know what you figure out? You figure out that the past does not equal the future ever, 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 ever. In fact, most people will put right in their disclaimer when you get into financial services, it'll say past results are not indicative of future results. And you got to realize, where are you in your trend, right? So here we had a move up for the beginning of a cycle, and then we had a move back, and then we had a whole different cycle. Well, the rebound from this whole different cycle where Bitcoin went from, $225 up to 20,000, the rebound is going to do everything different. Momentum will be different. Speed will be different. All of the above. Now, granted, I'll give it to you. They do look similar. And a lot of people think we're going to make this low here and then go up, make a new low here, and then come over and come back and make a new low, and this is going to go on and on and on. I don't think that. In fact, I never even compare it to what it did in 2014 because I don't care. As a trader who's been around a while, I realize that this market, it does not always do exactly what it did before. And the trend is always different in a different place. Now, last thing I want to talk about with you guys is when we do rebound and we make that next run up, whatever it is, you just remember everything you learned right here. You remember everything you felt right here. And if you can't do it again, get the frig out. I've told you guys this a million times, and I will never stop telling you. Nobody goes broke taking profits. Nobody. Nobody goes broke taking profits. People go broke when they go, well, I've just made $5 million and I had 100,000, but man, it's going higher. That guy goes broke. And I'll tell you why. There is a mental click that takes place when you go from having 6 figures into your account to multi-7 figures, which many of you are going to do this year, and then you watch that multi-7 figure, you get on an emotional high you've never been on in your life because you've never seen multi-7 figures that belongs to you. It's your money. You can spend it. You can buy a house, a car, a heart transplant. You can take care of your kids' college. You can do a lot of things. And you see that come into your life, and all of a sudden, all these things open up to you. And the next thing you know is you don't get out, and you don't take any of that profit, and it goes all the way back to 100,000 and maybe 50,000. Now you have another emotional click that happens. And you are ruined, ladies and gentlemen, for trading. You will get into a paradigm of doing that over and over again, and the next thing you know, you'll be getting out the lows because you emotionally cannot take it. Please don't be that person. Please hear my words today. Please hear my cries. I really do care. I know you think that because somebody else comes out on YouTube every single day and bottle feeds you that person cares. Believe me when I tell you, I care. I care about each and every one of you, and I don't even know you. I know that seems hard to believe. Believe it. If I didn't care, I wouldn't be saying these things very straight and very frank and very forward with you. I'm not the guy that comes out on YouTube to bottle feed you. I'm the guy that comes out and says, this is a real game. This is real money. This is your life. This potentially could be life and death for some people. It's life and death for me in the regard that I'm going to keep my privacy because, gosh, every single week I hear about another person who their wife got kidnapped so that they could get their cryptos. Or, gee, another person was held at gunpoint to get their cryptos. So it's life and death for me too, guys, but it's not life and death for me emotionally. I've been doing this a long time. It doesn't mean I don't make mistakes. I still make mistakes. If you guys are thinking I don't make mistakes, please don't think that. I make mistakes. I still make mistakes trading. The thing is, I can recover from a mistake pretty easily because I recognize it very easily. Many of you will get to that same point. You'll get to that very same point. So again, today we're not going to look at Litecoin. We're not going to look at Ethereum. We're looking at the King and the King only. I've given you a little bit of time analysis on this. I've also told you that regardless of my time analysis, what I would love to see is I would love to see that really big, nasty, makes everybody come out of the woodworks and sell their coins, that really nasty drop that's huge and big and powerful, and we might get it. And it bounces the market. It creates that capitulation. It creates, all of a sudden, it weeds out all the weak people, and it brings in the new buyers. So here's what I'll say to you guys, because I don't get to talk to each one of you individually. If you're sitting around biting your fingernails off over crypto, number one, you put the wrong money in crypto. It does not matter if it was $1,000 or if it was $1 million. You put the wrong money in. If you're biting your fingernails off because it's falling, you got the wrong money in. You really do. Number two, if you guys are not biting your fingernails off and you're going, hey, I'm an investor, I'm not a trader, and I'm in this because I believe in this, and I'm in this because I see the adoption taking place with every major bank out there. I mean, guys, come on. The ETFs have been approved. Bitcoin and Ethereum are no longer considered a security. All these things are signals to the big money to come on into the market. How about Coinbase coming out? Here you have the banks telling consumers you cannot buy crypto with a credit card. And even banks. I even had a bank call me this week. You know, you guys know I already had one set of bank accounts shut down. I had a credit card company that shut me down. And now I've got all new bank accounts. And in this last several months, I've put $300,000 or $400,000 of money that was sitting in my bank account on into crypto. And they called me up a week ago and said, hey, what are all these transfers? And I said, well, these transfers from me buying cryptocurrency. Well, what business are you in? I said, I'm not in any business. I said, did you not notice that bank account's a trust account? And they said, yeah, but we look at it as a business account. And I said, well, it's not a business account. I showed up at your bank with my trust papers. You guys looked at them. Your legal team approved them, and you set me up a trust bank account. And I said, and I'm buying cryptocurrency with the money I have in trust. And they said, and they were really mean, really, really mean on the phone. I said, listen, this is why the world needs cryptocurrency, because you have a bank, a business who's supposed to be offering me a service. I said, the last time I checked, you guys charged me $50 for every wire transfer I made. Did you not? And the lady said, well, of course we did. And I said, well, that's the service you offer. I took advantage of your service. I did no wrong. Why are you calling me? And she said, well, I'll report all this back to the people that have asked me to call. I said, well, you go do your damn report. But leave me the hell alone. Fortunately, she didn't shut down my accounts. I was kind of grateful for that. But the point is, you got the banks telling us we can't buy cryptocurrency. Meanwhile, you have Coinbase telling the banks and every person that's a high net worth person that you can come into our new index fund and buy crypto up to $20 million. Folks, look around you. This is not going away. Quit listening to the damn mainstream news that tells you it's going away. And I would almost tell you, quit listening to every person on YouTube too. I don't care who they are. Every person on YouTube is coming out and they are emotionally distracting you. Begin to stand on your own 2 feet, folks. Begin to take and go. I mean, look, I can see how many people actually watch our videos 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 5 times. I can see it. There's people that bought our videos that didn't even watch them one time. Did not even watch them one time. And they have money in this market. Are you freaking kidding me? Get the hell out. You guys are about to lose everything. And they think they can be a part of the game because they listen to Joe on YouTube. They think they can be a part of the game because they listen to Cliff and Vic's Weird. They think they can be a part of the game because they got some updates coming from Crypto Crow. Guys, please start to stand on your own feet. This market is going to swing like this over and over and over and over again. Get yourself prepared for that mentally to where as it happens, you're in a winning position. And it's not something you had to be told what to do by me or Joe. It's not something you had to be told by what to do by Cliff's Report. The whole reason I even started in to put together an education package is because I know what human beings do. I've already done this in Forex. I did this in Forex and I saw people make millions. I saw people lose everything. I saw people make millions and give every bit of it back. And I thought to myself, well, gee, here's a way that I can make some money in my craft. Let's don't forget that, guys. I've told you from day one, I got into this to make money. However, in making money, I give you the best I got. Now, somebody else may have something better than me. That's fine. But I'm giving you the best I have. This is the best I can offer you. And I try to give you sound advice in how to look at yourself as a trader. That's all. Nothing more. I've never made claims I'm the best. I've never made claims, if you stick with me, you'll be wearing diamonds the size of doorknobs. I've never made those claims. I've never said to you, hey, I'm the one that called the top. I called the top. No, I give you my targets. Here's my target. The market's done this, so here's my target. The market's done that, so here's my target. Anyway, I think you've heard me lecture you enough. When I come out here and I lecture you, believe me, I care about you, and that's why I do it. And when I get 20, 30 emails over the course of a few weeks and they all have the same theme, it lets me know these people have got money in the market that they really can't afford to have in the market. They can't afford to lose this money. They're freaking out because this market is going down and they see it going down. And I got to get out now while I still have something. Oh my God. What's it going to do next? I read people's stuff on Twitter and they go, I just can't take much more of this. Those people need to pull their money out, win, lose, or draw, and stay the frig away from the market. Stay away from it. They are not cut out for it. If you're that person that's cut out for it and you're over there like Cool Hand Luke going, hey man, it can go all the way to 1,200, I'm fine. Because Bitcoin does this. And then it goes back up. And I'm going to be there when it goes back up. In fact, I don't need this money for 5 years. I'm going to look at it again in 5 years. I've got a few friends of mine that basically put their money in. And they said, look, we're not taking our money out until we're not even going to begin to look at taking it out until 2020. And you know what? Their actions line up with their words. When I see them and talk to them, they don't even bring up Bitcoin or Litecoin. They don't even know where the price is. They hadn't looked at it in 30 days. What I'm saying to you guys is if you're Cool Hand Luke, then you've got that mentality. Take some time off from the market while it's down. Take some time off. I've been taking a lot of time off. I've been spending time with my wife. I've got family that's come to see us almost every week or every other week. We've had family coming. And we have enjoyed our time off. I'm not stressed about this market. You shouldn't be either. And if you get in the market with the right money, the market can do anything it wants to do. Just understand this. Long term, this market is in expansion mode. I've showed it to you until I can't show it to you anymore. And that's why I don't come out every second day and go, here's your latest, greatest here. Let me give you your shot in the arm of adrenaline that makes you feel good. Now, I want you guys to begin to stand on your own 2 feet. I want you guys to quit spending all your time getting 9 million people's advice on YouTube. Have you guys not figured out that every single person on there gets it wrong? Sometimes they get it right, but they get it wrong. Sometimes I get it right, but I get it wrong. study. Study yourself approved. Study yourself approved. Guys, I'm going to leave you with that. Just a quick update for you today, a quick little lecture for you today. If you didn't like it, I'm sorry. I told it straight the best way I know how to tell it because I care. And I want all you guys to have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And we'll talk again very soon.